Hey, friends, welcome back to the Call to Lead podcast. So, guys, it's been a minute. I know I missed last week's episode in all of our US public launch and Canadian soft launch craziness. And I could not be more excited, first of all, to celebrate all of you who have joined us on this journey so far with Restore and just kicking things off with a record breaking week. It was so amazing. But also, it's the perfect opportunity to shift into a new season of this podcast where I am going to be helping you grow your business, whether or not you're a part of Restore. So, I'm going to introduce a new acronym today, and we're going to break down that acronym in each of the next episodes. And it's based around one of our core values here at Restore Collective, which is growth. And so, whether or not you're trying to grow your Restore business, or maybe you're a network marketer just kind of, following along our journey, but aligned with us in our mission to lift up the entire industry, or maybe you're not even in network marketing and you just want some good business tips. Either way, we're excited that you're here. And I think this series is going to be the perfect opportunity to bridge the foundational elements that we've been sharing up to this point so far with some really practical tools and tips on this podcast to help you grow your business. So today's episode is going to be tackling the first letter in our new acronym, GROW, and that stands for gratitude. So let's dive into this week's episode. Okay, friends, let's dive into this week's episode. So if you're listening to this podcast, you are either a part of Restore, considering it, or you're just here to be a fly on the wall to hear what I might have to say about what could help you build and grow your business. But I think all of us are in alignment that whatever foundation you're starting from, maybe you've been a part of your company for many years, or maybe you're just like us, where you're just hitting the ground running with something brand new. Either way, you want to make sure that your goal is to grow, right? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And growth is one of our core values here at Restore because you always want to be growing as a person. For us as believers, that's to become more like the example of Christ through his word and through the Holy Spirit if you've given your life to him. But also in business, you want to be growing. It doesn't mean that it always has to look like doubling your business or, reaching some astronomical goal of maybe like making six figures in your business. It doesn't have to be this big, crazy in-game goal, but you do want to focus on growing your business, whether you're a part of Restore or not. And so you might want, like me, a very simple framework for how to do that. And if you haven't learned this about me, you will very soon, that I love a good acronym. So if you, like me, are looking to grow your business, you want to start from a really solid foundation. And we're going to break down that foundation into 4 steps, which is GROW, G-R-O-W. The first one's what we're going to talk about today, and that is gratitude for where you've been in the past. The R is going to be the results that you desire in the future. And then the O are going to be the opportunities right in front of you, whether that's today or with this business, whether it's big or small. We'll talk more about that. And then the W is going to be who can you serve by sharing your journey. So again, we'll dive much deeper into this in the weeks to come, but today we're going to tackle the first step in building a really solid foundation for growth in your business. And that is going to be by focusing on gratitude. And more specifically, gratitude for all of the things that have brought you to this point. Whether that's you've never had experience in this business before, but maybe you have been raising a bunch of littles as a mama and you're looking for something for yourself. Or whether that's you've done network marketing in the past and maybe had not the best experience, sometimes due to someone else, sometimes due to maybe you just never really dove in or something just didn't quite click or feel right. Or maybe you're like me, where you've had experience and you are a top leader, or you've been a top seller or a top performer at another company. You may even be there right now. If you are looking to grow in your current company, in a new company, maybe in Restore, you have to start from a place of gratitude for where you've been. Even if it's hard, even if it's not been what you wanted, even if it's coming from a place of brokenness. And so I'm going to break down 3 ways that you can do this, 3 practical, really tips and tools and things that I've learned I didn't come up with some of this stuff. This is just what I've learned along the way in my journey as both a network marketing leader, but also as a traditional entrepreneur. And so the first one is going to be starting from the gain from where you started this business in. So have you read The Gap and the Gain before? I'm sure you've heard me talk about it if you're a longtime listener. It is a fantastic book that I highly recommend, The Gap and the Gain. But the concept behind it is so often we get so trapped in where we want to be and the gap between where we are right now and where we want to be. And maybe that is a six-figure earner, or maybe that is having a team the size of your previous team, or maybe that is, being able to pay for your daughter's cheerleading competitions. Whatever that is for you, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the gap between where you are and where you want to be that we forget the gain from where we started and how far we've come. And a lot of times, again, if you're a believer, it can be easy to miss and kind of skip over the gratitude for where the Lord has been showing up for you in that season of growth up until this point. Because all of us, if we're still here and haven't gotten brought home to be with our Father in heaven, He's growing us. And we all started as obviously little children. We're all at different ages or levels, as I know one of my friends called it one time. It's not, I'm not age 40. I don't even know how old I am. 40. I guess I'll be 45 this year. I'm level 45. So whether you're level 25, level 35, level 65, you have been growing this whole journey. And I guarantee you, if you look back on from where you are now in the gains that you've made relationally, from a business perspective, even if certain metrics might feel like they're going backwards, or again, where I came from prior to starting Restore Collective, I was in a place where what I loved was taken from me. And it was something that I never dreamed that I would leave the business I was in, or I never dreamed that the Lord could have something else for me. But I refused to look at that season, even the hardest parts of when I knew I was no longer in alignment with that particular business. I look at that season with so much gratitude. And I'm so glad that when I started this new business, that I wasn't coming from a place of resentment or frustration or certainly vindication in any way, shape, or form. It was truly looking at that gain of where I had come to where I was then and being grateful for every bit of that experience. The hard parts, the mistakes that I made, the wins, the celebration, all of it, all of those things got me to where I was in starting my business. And that's exactly where you are today. And so it can feel really overwhelming when you know where you want to be and you know where you want to grow in the future. But if you don't kind of take a moment, as Dr. Benjamin Hardy says in that book, to really look back over the course of this season that you've been in, whatever that looks like for you, and look at that through the lens of gratitude, it's going to be really hard to have the foundation for growth in the future. And you might be operating out of scarcity or fear or diving into something too quickly. And that's not what we want for you in your business at whatever point you are diving into growth in your business. And so start from a place of gratitude from where you've come to the point where you are now. Live in the gain that you've seen over this last season or over your entire life as a business owner, instead of the gap between where you are and where you want to be in your life. So that's the first step in living in gratitude. The second step is being present with right where you are today. Once again, it can, you can kind of get wrapped up in maybe some past mistakes or a bad day yesterday. I think a lot of us as women struggle with hormones, especially if you are level 45 like me or about to be, then, it might be that you just had a really bad day or some bad circumstances. But guess what? That was yesterday. Today is a new opportunity. His mercies are new every morning. And in order to grow, you have to look at, okay, where am I right now in this current moment? This is another one of my favorite kind of tips. It's actually not even a book you have to read. There's a video you can watch. I'll link it, called Above and Below the Line. And the video, basically, spoiler alert, it says at any point in time, we're either above the line, which is operating from a place of gratitude, excitement, joy, even humor in some of the funny things or the bad things that might be happening. Whereas if we fall below the line, we're in fear or victim mindset or scarcity or comparison. And so the antidote is to come right back to the present for right where you are, realizing that once again, where you've come from has been for you. And you want to look at that, even the bad stuff, as a place of gratitude. But you have an opportunity right now to do the next right thing for you, for the people around you. And it might be to forgive someone who hurt you in the past, or someone maybe who led to a bad experience, to let that go. Or it might be to serve someone that is already connected with you. It might be to check in with a customer that you need to follow up with, or to, send a voice message to that teamie that came to your heart to let them know that you're thinking about them. What do you need to do in this present moment in order to have gratitude for what's next in your business? Because if you don't have gratitude for exactly where you are right now and you get too stuck in the past, or you get tripped up with fear, which is essentially imagining the worst possible scenario before it even happens. So you're experiencing it twice. But if you're not just grateful for this opportunity that you woke up today, you've got time, even if it's just a few minutes, and we all have the same 24 hours in that day. And it is a new day. And again, his mercies are new every morning. So you've got to rest in gratitude for the present. And then finally, the last tip that I have for you and the lesson that I've learned when focusing on gratitude before you can begin to grow is the future opportunities that are right in front of you. So what's really cool is sometimes you can kind of get lost in, like your own busyness of the day. Maybe that's like lost in the scroll on social media, or it's overthinking, right? Like, what should I do? What should I say? If you open your eyes and you look around you, opportunities for something that you can do, whether that's a person that's literally present, and maybe sometimes that's your kids. A lot of times it's our kids that we need to focus on right then in that moment, right? But if you look at the future opportunities to bless someone, to serve someone, to maybe it's your branch if you're a part of Restore that has something really cool planned. If you're a part of Restore, I'm going to announce something on our next family call on Tuesday that is going to be an amazing opportunity for those of you guys who are part of this journey in September. And so that's a perfect thing to kind of get excited about, right? To leverage that opportunity right in front of you. Even if you're not a carrot chaser or a goal getter, some of us are. I'm highly motivated by a challenge or by, a carrot that you're going to dangle, right? Something I can earn. If that's not you, it is an opportunity that you can lean into for the future. Or if you aren't happy in your current company or you've been looking for the right next step, is that opportunity right in front of you? Is that possibly Restore? And the answer might be a yes, it might be a no. And truly, our heart is not to try to convince you either way, but sometimes the opportunity that the Lord has for you or that open door for your future is right there. And sometimes we just get stuck in our own head or stuck in our own way and aren't able to see it. And so I want you to be grateful for those open doors, because if it's not for you, that door will close. And one of my favorite sayings, I've said it a million times, my dear friend Emily McCarthy, who is a fabulous fashion designer. Actually, the day that this podcast posts, I will be celebrating the growth of her brand at her store with her, which I'm really excited. And she's not even in the network marketing space. But her grandmother, Lillian, said, "What's for you won't pass you by." And so are you letting the opportunities that are right in front of you pass you by? And again, it's kind of the opposite is true. If it's not for you, it probably will pass you by, right? And so if you have an open door, whether that's Restore, whether maybe that's something completely different, whether it's, again, something that your branch is doing, or the person that is right in front of you, or the opportunity that you're afraid to connect with someone, what is it that the Lord has put right in front of you? What is it that the Lord doesn't want to pass you by? And what are the distractions that could be keeping you from it? Whether it's being lost in the scroll or the overthinking or the fear of what's holding you back from your business. So whether it's the past and living in the gain from how far you've come and having gratitude for even the hard experiences, even your mistakes, or whether it's living in the present, right where you are today and looking for those opportunities, right? The future doors that the Lord is opening for you, the future conversations, the friend that you haven't seen in forever. These things don't happen by accident. And when you open your eyes and you look for the Lord's goodness in both the hard things that you might have been through, in the fact that you are here today and it is a new day, no matter how you feel. And tomorrow is even a new day, right? And then you look at the opportunities that are all around us, even if it's just a small conversation or connection, to the big things, the thing that could be the next opportunity to bless your family. When you have gratitude for all of it, past, present, and future, that is the first foundational step in looking to grow your business. And so I hope this has been helpful for you. I want to wrap us up in prayer and stay tuned for future weeks' episodes where we'll be tackling the next series. Again, the R stands for the results that you're looking for, because you can't grow if you don't know what you're growing towards, right? Like what is it that you're hoping to grow into? And I'll help you break that down on the next episode. The O is going to be looking for those opportunities, right? So looking how to know what that looks like for connection and conversation, how you can even create opportunities within your own business in different ways. And then lastly, your who's. Who are you here to serve? And so we'll be tackling this and more in the next episodes, but let's wrap us up in prayer. Lord, thank you so much, first of all, for the incredible launch week we had last week and just the records that you smashed for our company, and starting from a solid foundation of alignment with those who have linked arms with us as partners and advocates. And it's so fun to finally see this thing start to grow. And we're grateful for your example in how to do that right, and for the wisdom and vision to break it down into this simple acronym that we've shared today. So, Lord, I just invite you to bless those that are listening at whatever point in their business and help them grow. That's the cool thing about a podcast, whether it's mine or something else, or these books and tools and resources, is it's kind of like the water to our plants that allows us to kind of just grow that one more little bit in our business. And so thank you for this vision. Thank you for the past experiences that have brought us here, knowing that those experiences are going to be vastly different for every single person that's listening. Thank you for the gratitude for the present of this day and what you've brought us to, and the fact that your mercies are new every morning and that we have a new opportunity. And even if today happens to be a bad day, tomorrow can be a great one. And help us to keep our eyes open to the opportunities and the open doors that you have all around us, and have gratitude for the future of what we know that you can do through us and for us. We know all of this is in your name, and we lift all of the prayer requests up for anybody that just needs that's listening here. You know them, and you know the hearts of those that are searching and seeking, and just let us be a light to them. And thank you again for the blessing of this business and being able to serve others through this journey that you've brought us together on. And all of it is for you, from you, and through you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, friends, I hope this was a fun episode, and I can't wait to dive more in to the GROW acronym and grow all of our businesses together. So have a great week.